Hello everyone. So today I will show you a tutorial how you can get started with the Smart Cloud for Salesforce. So first of all, I would recommend going to SmartCloud Wizard. So you would type smartcloudconnect.io/wizard. And once you are there, you have several options for you to get SmartCloud installed. So if you are using Office 365 or Exchange, I recommend the first option, Enable for Office 365. With this option, you would be running SmartCloud in the cloud, so you can access SmartCloud from any device you use to work with to access your work mail. You can access that from your laptop, from your mobile device, from your iPads, and doesn't matter, or even from a web browser. But say if you're using an outdated version of the Exchange or Outlook, I would recommend just download the app for your Outlook. So you would use the second option. Of course, we also have an option for Gmail, but today I will be covering those two first options. So with the first option, basically what you need to do, you just click on that, and that would take you directly to the Office store. So that would take you to your Office 365 account. So you need to sign in. And once you are signed in, you would be prompted to get SmartCloud installed. So let me show you. So it takes you to my app to manage add-ins on your Office 365 account. So we need to wait a bit while it just finishes to load it. And then you would be prompted to install SmartCloud Connect from the Office store. So you click install, and then you click OK. So once you're done, you would see something like SmartCloud Connect for Salesforce appearing in your sidebar, and that would allow you to use the SmartCloud sidebar. So you just check on it to make sure that it's activated, and once you have it on, you will see a new icon appearing in your Office, in your Outlook, and obviously Office 365 as well. So here we are. It just barely appeared. So you would then go ahead and click on the icon, and that would open SmartCloud sidebar. First step that you need to take is to log in into your Salesforce to have SmartCloud connected to the Salesforce. And once you have logged in into Salesforce, it would start showing all your Salesforce records you have directly inside of the sidebar. So I already have the SmartCloud logged in, and basically I'm currently on this record, and it shows me what I have here. So there are quite a few things you can do inside of the sidebar. We have the two different views of your records. This one we call adaptive UI view. So here you see general view what you have. So for example, for this specific email, I have an opportunity. Obviously, that opportunity is attached to this account. And additionally, we also offer integration with third parties like QuickBooks, for example. And there are some action items that can be taken regarding this specific record. And I will cover them a bit later. So we also offer a detailed view, so which allows you to work with those records in more detail. So let's say if there's this contact, I can click Edit, and with the Edit option, I can edit any of the fields here and edit any of the records, whatever needs to be changed. So I just click, for example, I got the cell phone number here, and I can add that cell phone number right from the drop-down menu. And then I click Save, and then I would have the new cell phone number added to the record. Additionally, what you can do here using that option, obviously you can open that record inside of the Salesforce. There's this little cloud icon open in Salesforce. You can also view that same record on LinkedIn. We offer an insight with the social media sites like LinkedIn, for example, right? So it would try to find that record in the Salesforce. I'm sorry, in LinkedIn. And moreover, you also can use chatter feeds. And with the option functionality, there are a few options for you available, like log a call. If you have a call with a prospect or a customer, you can easily log that call into Salesforce. You can also use your Salesforce templates natively inside of your Outlook. You can all, of course, create new follow-up tasks or new events, new calendar events, create new opportunities. If you are in support, you can create new support cases, and again, you can open that record in Salesforce. Now, the good part about the sidebar is that it's fully customizable. So if you need to customize this, for example, if you are in sales, you probably would want to see something like leads, opportunities, accounts. So you would customize the sidebar to show only those records. But let's say if you are in supporting existing customers, then you would choose, let's say, support cases, right? Accounts, maybe contacts. So you can tailor the view of that sidebar according to your requirements. And again, you can do that here in the settings menu, and then you click on customization, and you would be able to customize the sidebar so it would only show those records that are relevant to your job description. Usually that load page would take about 1 or 2 minutes, so don't hurry up. You have to wait because it has to load literally all records that you have in your Salesforce, all objects, all fields into that one page. And once they are loaded, you're able to choose what you would like to see inside of that sidebar and what records you would like to work with. So while it's loading, I will show you what else you need to do before you can get started with the SmartCloud use. So make sure that once you have the SmartCloud appearing, that you don't see that message on the bottom. Action required. Synchronization component is turned off. You need that for a few reasons. That would connect your Salesforce.com with your Office 365 or your Exchange accounts. So you definitely need to enable this. So how do you enable this? Obviously, you click Enable Now, and that would take you to the sign-in page. And again, you would be prompted to log in with your Salesforce. I'm already logged in, and so we don't use this instance, so it says not available for my organization. Then you would need to go to the CRM and click refresh. By refreshing this, you would be able to connect the SmartCloud to your CRM system. And obviously I have special security on my account, so I need to enter that security code. So just bear with me. Okay, so once you have logged in successfully into your Salesforce account, you would get a message that would say signed in successfully and updated. Once done with that part, you would go to email configuration and do exactly the same thing for your Office 365 account. So you click on refresh, and then you would log in into your Office 365. And again, you should get a message saying signed in successfully. Once you have completed those two simple steps, you should have your Salesforce and your Office 365 or Exchange account connected. If you need any help, obviously feel free to contact me. My email is alex@invisible.io, and I'll be happy to help you with this setup. Now, what you can do once you have your Salesforce and Office 365 connected. So first of all, if you click on filters, you can choose what Salesforce records you can synchronize to your Outlook 365. So for example, if you create a calendar event in your Salesforce, you can have that calendar event connected to your Outlook calendar. So whatever events you have in your Salesforce would show up as a calendar event inside of your Outlook calendar. The same thing you can do with tasks. So if you use Salesforce tasks, you might want to synchronize them to your Outlook so they would show up in your Outlook as well as reminders. I typically don't use the tasks option because whenever you log in into your Salesforce, you already have the pop-up screen with your tasks, so you don't want to have a double notification. Now, contacts, I would definitely recommend to synchronize your contacts with your Office 365, your Salesforce contacts synchronized with the Office 365. There are quite a few reasons why you would want to do this. First, of course, that when you are composing an email to any Salesforce contact, you want to have the contact available inside of your Office Outlook, right? But this tool is really handy if you are using your cell phone, your mobile phone, to call your prospects, or if your prospects or customers call your mobile phone to reach you. Because if you have your mobile phone connected to your Office 365, then all your Salesforce contacts would be available on your mobile phone book, so you would see the name of your prospect or the name of your customer appearing on the caller ID. And so that's another advantage of SmartCloud, the cloud-based version, that it is available on mobile phones too. Now, if you click on Detailed Settings, with this option, you choose what you want to synchronize from your Outlook to Salesforce. So first option that we allow you to do is to synchronize your emails, your Outlook or Office 365 emails to the Salesforce. Now you see you have two options here, auto sharing and deep sharing. Let me explain you what they are for. So auto sharing option allows you to synchronize your emails with the Salesforce, those emails that you include in two fields. So let's say if you're emailing Alex, which is myself, right, and you include me in two fields, and you have me as your record in Salesforce, then that email will get synchronized with Alex's record in your Salesforce, since you included that in two fields when you're composing an email. Now, let's say if you're including a few other people in CC, in carbon copy, right? Let's say if you include Robert, you include Jack in CC, the question is, do you want to have Robert and Jack Salesforce records have the same email synchronized to their records in Salesforce? If the answer is yes, then you would enable the deep sharing option. So deep sharing option allows you to synchronize the records that include Salesforce records that you include in CC field of your email. Now, this for calendar, so besides synchronizing your emails, SmartCloud also allows you to synchronize your calendar. So this is really great because you no longer have to worry that some of your meetings or events you set up in your Outlook calendar might be missing in Salesforce. And that can be, again, fully automatic. So if you enable meetings and appointments auto sharing, whatever appointment or meeting you set up inside of your Outlook calendar will now be automatically synchronized to the Salesforce. Now, of course, I have people asking, what if I don't want some of my emails to be automatically synchronized to Salesforce? So, of course, that might happen. And this is why we have the blacklist domain option available. So here you can include entire domain names. Let's say if I get emails from gmail.com, right, from Gmail, and I don't want them to go automatically in Salesforce, then I can include entire domain name here. So any email coming from that domain name will not synchronize with my Salesforce automatically. Only manual option is available. Now, I also can include some specific email address. So let's say if I include my own personal email address and I don't want any emails coming or going to that email address automatically synchronized with the Salesforce, again, I can just include one single email address there. And then once I'm done with all the changes, I would hit save, and that would enable those changes on my SmartCloud synchronization. So that's pretty much about automatic synchronization of your Salesforce records with your Outlook and vice versa. By the way, as you see, this synchronization is bidirectional, right? So with filters, you choose what you want to synchronize from Salesforce to your Office 365. And with detailed settings, you choose what records you want to synchronize from your Office 365 to Salesforce. Now, also there might be a question, what if I choose automatic calendar synchronization, but I have some meetings that I don't want to show up in Salesforce automatically, right? So if that's the case, again, this is really simple. So first of all, SmartCloud will not automatically synchronize any internal meetings you have with your boss, with your colleagues. That will stay only in your Outlook. But let's say if you have some meeting with the client maybe, or with someone that you don't really want that meeting show up in Salesforce for any reason. If that's the case, you just select a meeting in question, and then in the ribbon of your Outlook, you choose private option. You see a little lock here, private option. So you would apply the private option, mark that meeting as private, and you will see a little lock showing up here. And once you have that lock appearing, that tells you, okay, that meeting will not go into Salesforce automatically. Now, also, if you, for one reason or another, will choose not to synchronize your emails automatically with the Salesforce and your calendar events automatically with the Salesforce, you still can do that manually. Now, the question is, how do I do that manually? So First option is just to mark whatever meetings you want to synchronize with the Salesforce manually. Now, how do I do that? So one of the easiest way to do that is just to mark whatever meeting you want to go into Salesforce with the Salesforce category. So just right-click on that event, categorize, and choose Salesforce. So you see it changes the color to Salesforce category, and that means that this meeting will now go automatically into Salesforce. Another option is just to open the meeting in question, open SmartCloud sidebar, find any relevant record to which you would want to have that email synchronized to. So this is my internal meeting, but if it is not, I would be able to click Save button here, and I would have that meeting synchronized to the Salesforce. I'll just get a better example. So let's say I open that email from one of our customers, and you see SmartCloud is loading. And once I see all the records in Salesforce, I can then choose to what record I want to save this event. So I have this, let's say, contact, and I can click Save this event, and that event will be saved to the activity history of that specific record. And the same applies to the emails. So if you are sending an email, or if you are getting an email from someone and you want to have that email synchronized to the Salesforce, let's say I select emails from Carlos Diggs, and now I need to get that email synchronized to the Salesforce. So again, I would get SmartCloud sidebar. On top, it would tell me that event email is not saved, and I click Save button, and then I choose to save that email manually to the Salesforce by hitting create. And you see it says loading, and then it would say email saved. So that means that this email is now in Salesforce. Another option to do it, you just would get that specific email, right click on that email, categorize, and choose Salesforce category. Or you can choose this plus sign, quick save to Salesforce, and just by clicking on that plus sign, you would also mark that email for synchronization with the Salesforce. Please note that if you are using the synchronization, so if you use the quick save option, or if you use categorize, or if you've chosen automatic synchronization with the Salesforce, that we do synchronize your emails, and that happens not in real time, but every 30-minute or 45-minute intervals. So if you have received an email from someone, or if you send an email to someone, it usually takes about 30 minutes or so for that email show up in your Salesforce under activity history. Now let me show you what exactly you can do in SmartCloud, what features are available with the SmartCloud sidebar. So let me just open an email. So let's say I got email from Carmen, and you see I have quite a few action buttons here. So view open statistics, what's that? So this is the dashboard that allows you to see what emails that you've sent being opened by the recipients. This feature is really helpful in cases when you, let's say, send very important emails with very important content, let's say a quote or proposal, or maybe a contract that needs to be signed, right? When you send it over to the recipient, you want to make sure that they have received that email and that they have opened that email. And this is where you would use the view open statistics functionality. And I will show you exactly how you can track the email opens. So obviously when you are composing a new email, one of the ways to track the email opens is that, let's say I include any random email here. Okay, so you have to make sure that you have the sidebar open. With that option, you will have the email automatically tracked for opens. So if you open the sidebar while you're composing an email, you will be able to track the email opens. If for one reason or another you don't want to open the sidebar, and by the way, you can pin that sidebar so it opens every time when you are composing an email, but if for one reason or another you don't want to open the sidebar, let's say if you don't need it, then what do? You click the track email opens here, this magic wand, and that will insert the magic pixel into the email. And so once you send it, you will know exactly when that email would be received and opened by the recipient. And by the way, they don't get a notification that, like to confirm that you've read this email like you do when you are sending read confirmation using Outlook features. So now once you have sent that email, again, you would go to the view open statistics, and using that functionality in detail statistics, you can see what emails that you've recently sent been opened by the recipients. So let's say I've sent email to Gabriela, and I see that she has opened my email already. So that's the email I've sent. And here we are. So once the Smart Cloud gets loaded, if I click View Open Statistics, I can see that Gabriella has opened my email on the December 21st, and she's located in San Antonio, and she used a mobile device to open my email. So that way I know that that email that I've sent indeed has been opened by the recipient. And again, in detailed statistics, I can see what emails that I've sent lately been opened by my recipients. Now, another great feature that SmartCloud has to provide is the ability to use suggest to meet functionality. So what is that? So very often when you are having a good conversation with your client or with your prospect, you need to set up a follow-up call or a follow-up meeting, right? And sometimes that can be very complicated. Say I send email to James, and we agreed with James that I should touch base with him next Wednesday or Thursday. But when I ask James for some specific time, he says, well, Alex, I'm not sure. Why don't you try in the morning next Wednesday? So what I typically do, I would use the feature suggest to meet to offer him some specific time slots for the meeting. So let's say I have to include some of my colleagues in the meeting. I'll just put a test here in subject line. So when I click suggest to meet feature, what it does, let's say location is the phone. And what it does basically, so when I click next, it would load my calendar and James' calendar in this view. And I can choose those time slots when both myself and my colleague are available. And when I click next, I can insert those meeting time slots in in my email compose window. So when James receives that email, he sees the time slots when I'm available for the next week follow-up meeting, and he would be able to click on any of those meetings, and that would generate the meeting invite in James' calendar, my calendar, and also in my colleague's calendar as well. So that way you are having exact time specified for your follow-up meetings, and that significantly increases the follow-up rate for your meetings. So this is really great feature. I also suggest that you try it. And one other feature that you can use, share my availability. So what it does, it just provides the link to your own calendar. So obviously it shows all the calendar you have. So obviously you want to share it only with those people that you trust your own calendar. It doesn't specify exactly what events you have, but it just shows your availability when you are free for any of the meetings. So it would just load my calendar, for example, and you see it just says I'm busy at 3 p.m., 7 p.m., and 8 p.m. So during those time slots, I was busy today, and you can choose any date to see when I'm available. Now, another very good feature that you might like very much, insert email templates. So what's that? With the email insert email templates, you are actually able to use your Salesforce templates natively in your Outlook. So let's say I'm calling James right now and I'm leaving a voicemail. But the problem is that people don't always listen to the voicemails you leave. And so what I typically do, once I have left a voicemail, I would send them an email just to say that, hey, James, this is Alex. I left you a voicemail. And for this purpose, I've created a voicemail template in my Salesforce. And when I'm leaving the voicemail, I can actually use that template to compose an email. And it takes really, really fast. So you see, I've just chosen the template, Alex voicemail, and I click insert. And what happens is that it got my template inserted, but with all the Salesforce variables, like the first name, already pre-filled for me inside of my email. So instead of saying hello, unknown, right? Hello, James. It has the name already here. This is Alex with SmartCloud Connect for Salesforce. I was calling you, and so on. James, please let me know if we can set up a quick introductory call. And so I would send that email right after I leave the voicemail. And so if James would not listen to my voicemail, then he would see that indeed I was trying to call him, because he would see my email in his inbox. So another great feature of SmartCloud, insert email template, that I really recommend to use. So now back to the customization of the SmartCloud sidebar. Like I just mentioned, using SmartCloud, you can customize what that SmartCloud sidebar would look like inside of your Outlook. And this is the customization page. You see, so over here you see all the Salesforce records you have in your Salesforce. Well, it's in our Salesforce in our case. And basically you can highlight any of the Salesforce record or object, any of the Salesforce object that you would like to see inside of the sidebar. Once you have selected that object, you can further customize it to choose exactly what fields you would like to see inside of that object, inside of your Outlook sidebar in SmartCloud. So once you've selected all the fields that you need, you can also choose what fields are important to you. So you just double click on the meeting, or actually one click on the meeting, and then you select the checkbox important. So if you do that, you click then done, and then you would go ahead and click save, and that would apply the customization to the SmartCloud sidebar. So once you come back to the sidebar, you would have to refresh it, and you would be able to see those new objects showing up in your SmartCloud sidebar in your Outlook. Now, the important fields are those that would normally show up over here on the adaptive UI. And also, if you click detail view and click edit, they would show on the first page of the edit page. You see, so here you can see all my important fields. Now, if I want to see just all other fields, I would uncheck the box, show only important fields, and in that case, I would see all other fields that I've chosen to see inside of the SmartCloud. So that way, it allows me to see a detailed view of my Salesforce record and a general view. So I guess that would be pretty much everything for today. So for this demo, now if you do have any questions about our tool, SmartCloud Connect, feel free to contact me. So here's my email, alex.sattler@invisible.io. Feel free to email me. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. I'm also available over the phone, so that's US. So that's +1 650 897 4951. So feel free to call me. And also, if you're a Skype user, you can also add me on Skype. This is my Skype name, Alex Sattler, one word. So you can add me on Skype, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions about SmartCloud use, its configuration, and even offer you a personalized live demo. So again, thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to help you and show you this demo, and looking forward to hearing back from you.